Hello and welcome to Wheels Up! I'm Athena and I'll be your host today. I'm so excited to take you on an amazing journey brought to you by the Sunrise Association, Sunrise Studios, and our friends at American Airlines. While we're on our adventure, see if you can spot Wings, our special airplane friend, in 3 different places. After our adventure, please join us for some super fun games and crafts. Are you ready? Fasten your seatbelts and let's go on an adventure! Here to kick us off is a special representative from American Airlines.
Welcome passengers. I'm American Airlines Customer Assistance Representative Monica McInerney. Welcome on aboard our very special flight today with service from the Sunrise Association and American Airlines. Are you ready for a fantastic adventure? Well, come on board. Buckle up, relax, sit back, and enjoy the flight.
Welcome, travelers! Today's adventure is going to be a workout for our eyes. So how about we get started with some easy exercises? Ready? First, I want you to look to your left. Now look to your right. Now roll your eyes in a big circle. Then blink 3 times fast. 1, 2, 3. Nice work. We need our eyes all warmed up because it's time to tour some of the most breathtaking, most bewitching, most eye-boggling sights in the world when we visit beautiful Brazil. The largest country in South America, Brazil has so much to see. From bustling cities to tropical jungles, to caves, to beaches, and even a desert. Wowee! That's a lot of ground to cover. But fortunately, our American Airlines flight is arriving right on time. Fasten your seatbelt. We're touching down here in one of Brazil's biggest cities, São Paulo. Located along the country's southeastern shore, São Paulo might not have the futuristic skyscrapers of the city Brasilia, and it doesn't have the sun-soaked beaches of Rio de Janeiro. Just ask any paulistano or person living in São Paulo, and they'll tell you how they'd never live anywhere else. Why is that? Well, São Paulo holds the honor of being the artistic heart of Brazil. In fact, this city is overflowing with historical museums and stunning new art galleries. No wonder many artists consider São Paulo to be the most creative city in the world. What? I had no idea. Where should we even begin? A hip art gallery where trendy young artists show their cutting-edge creations? Or how about the honorable Museu de Arte, which is Portuguese for art museum? By the way, here's fun fact number 1. The official language of Brazil is Portuguese. Hey, let's take this party to the streets, where artists paint on the biggest canvas São Paulo has to offer, the city itself. Thanks to a special law known as Lei de Cidade Limpia, Clean City Law, none of the outdoor spaces in São Paulo display plain old advertisements or billboards. Instead, São Paulo decorates itself with massive murals and underground masterpieces from artists who paint right on the city walls. Would you like to do that? One of the most popular spots for scoping out street art is known as the Beco do Batman, Portuguese for Batman Alley. It's a series of streets adorned with psychedelic, cubist, and other contemporary artwork, including several murals of, you guessed it, the Capped Crusader, Batman himself. How cool! Wow, we could spend all day admiring São Paulo's artwork and still barely scratch the surface. We'd better get a move on though. We have lots of ground to cover, and believe me when I say we won't want to fall behind. Because next up, we're arriving at one of our planet's wettest and wildest wonders, Iguazu Falls. The name Iguazu comes from the Guarani words meaning big and water. And the Iguazu Falls certainly live up to their name because, fun fact number 2, the Iguazu Falls are the largest waterfall system in the world. It's even said when American First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt first set eyes on what Iguazu had to offer, she exclaimed, "Poor Niagara!" It's true. The famous American-Canadian falls are a full 100 feet shorter than what Brazil is boasting. Not only do these titanic falls attract tons of tourists, but the Iguazu National Park is also home to many species of flora, that's plants, and fauna, that's animals, who create an important natural ecosystem connected to all South America. These critters include coatis, toucans, monkeys, and even the occasional tapir. Fun fact number 3, they might look like an anteater or an elephant with their long, droopy snout, but tapir are related to horses and rhinos. And speaking of incredible animals, no trip to Brazil would be complete without visiting the Amazon rainforest. Way up in the northwest, a massive swath of mossy trees and meandering rivers makes up the Amazon, the largest rainforest on the planet, most of which happens to be in Brazil. That's a lot of jungle, and every inch of it is bursting with life. In fact, the Amazon rainforest is home to nearly 30% of the plant and animal species on the whole planet. That's incredible. Can you believe it? Here, we'll find some of our favorite animals, including colorful parrots, slow-moving sloths, and even the fabulous pink river dolphin. But the Amazon is also home to some predators, like piranhas and electric eels, and jaguars, and even the mighty anaconda, the world's largest snake. Fun fact number 4. It would take about 11 kids to equal the weight of just one anaconda. That's why these hefty serpents spend most of their time in the water, where they feel much lighter. That's wild. Oh gosh, we've got one last American Airlines flight to catch. Lots of people know Brazil is famous for its rainforest. But on our final stop today, I'm going to show you a better-kept secret. Way out in the northeast, it's a desert. That's right. Not only does Brazil have dense jungles and bustling cities, it's also home to Lençóis Maranhenses National Park, a golden landscape of glistening dunes. As if that wasn't enough, during the rainy season, something truly spectacular happens here. The dry desert starts filling up with beautiful lagoons, creating a one-of-a-kind landscape of white sands and sapphire waters, allowing reptiles, birds, and even fish to survive. You heard me, several species of fish, including the fearsome, sharp-toothed wolffish, live right here in the desert. What? I had no idea. The otherworldly scenery of this national park makes it a hidden gem for tourists and nature lovers who come from far and wide to sunbathe on the dunes and swim in the warm, crystal-clear waters. And here's fun fact number 5. The name of this desert, Lençóis, translates to bed sheets. It might seem like a funny name at first, but when we board our departing flight and look down from above, you can see the way the shifting sand looks like a big, cozy bedsheet draped across the land. Look how beautiful! That brings us to the end of our whirlwind visit to beautiful Brazil. It's time to board our American Airlines flight home for games, crafts, and trivia. I bet your creations will fit right in at the galleries of São Paulo. See you next time for more incredible Wheels Up adventures. Wow, that was an incredible adventure. We discovered so much. Did you spot Wings the airplane? Great job. I think it's time for another game now. Come on. From forests to jungles to deserts, Brazil has some wild landscapes, and they're home to some even wilder animals. Do you think you can name them all? They have snouts like an elephant's. They're related to horses and rhinos. They can be found in Iguazu National Park. The answer is tapir. They're the world's largest snake. They spend most of their life in water. They weigh more than 10 average kids combined. The answer is anaconda. They're a fish with teeth. Some species survive in the desert. They burrow deep down in the sand during dry seasons. The answer is wolffish. Great job! That was so much fun. Time to hop on our flight to the Sunrise Treehouse for some arts and crafts. Are you ready? Let's go!
Hi everyone, my name's Danny and I hope you had a great time exploring beautiful Brazil today. Today we're going to be making some arts and crafts. The first thing we're going to be making is a colorful handprint parrot and a paper plate Rio Carnival mask. I hope you have fun! Supplies needed. Craft 1, colorful handprint parrot, construction paper or white paper, pencils, scissors, and glue. Craft 2, Rio Carnival mask, paper plate, glue or tape, paint or markers, popsicle stick, optional, feathers and gems. The first craft we're going to be making is a colorful handprint parrot. So we're going to start off with a few pieces of colored construction paper. We're gonna pick one color to be the body of our parrot. Today I chose pink. So let's just trace out what the body of our parrot looks like. I'm gonna draw a half circle on one side of the paper. And then I'm gonna go back up to the top and follow it around for the head of our parrot. And we don't need a beak because we're going to add that on later. So right now you should have a line that sort of looks like two half circles, almost like Mickey Mouse ears. I'm going to keep continuing around the head and I'm going to draw just a few little spikes that look like the feathers at the back of a bird's head. And we're going to finish off that circle just so it looks just like this. Now we're going to do another half circle on the other side of his neck for the body. And of course, we're not going to forget the tail, so we are just going to draw in a little triangle here. And this is the shape of the body of your parrot. So after we're done with this, we are going to cut it out. And remember to have an adult help you with this part. Okay, now that we have our parrot's body cut out, we're gonna go on and add the face. So, all we need for the face is a beak, and we need its eyeball. So, we're gonna go in with our white piece of paper and we're gonna cut a small circle for the eyeball. Remember, you can ask an adult to help you with this part. Your circle doesn't have to be perfect, mine definitely isn't. And I'm just gonna round it out and make it a little flatter on the bottom. Okay, now that I have my parrot's eyeball, that's gonna go right up here on his face. So for this, you're gonna take a pencil or a marker or really whatever you have lying around, and we are going to draw in the eye. So we're gonna leave a little sliver of white on the outside, just like this, and draw a small circle on the inside. So now we are going to color in everything except for that white sliver on the outside and the small circle we drew. Okay, and now we have the eyeball, so we're gonna glue that on. And if you don't have glue, you can use tape, you can staple it on, whatever makes that eyeball stay. Okay, so now that we have the eye, we are going to add the beak. So now to add the beak, we're gonna take our yellow construction paper, and it's okay if you don't have yellow, you can use that white paper and color it in again, or you can make a colorful beak. Whatever you decide to do is fine. We're just gonna cut a big square out of the paper. Just like this. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to cut out a big circle. We're gonna cut out a big circle, but we're gonna leave a corner, kind of like a point. That way that can be your parrot's beak. So now that I'm sticking it on, my beak does look a little bit too big. So I'm going to draw a line with my pencil just to know where I need to cut it smaller. Okay, I think that's good. That's how I want my parrot's beak to look. I'm gonna glue that on now. Remember to ask an adult if you need help with this part. So I'm just gonna put glue at the outer edges of the beak, just like this. Now we need to draw on his mouth and his nostrils. So I'm gonna take my pencil again, and we're just gonna draw a line up from the center of that point, all the way up. However high you want. I'm actually gonna stop mine right here. And right at the top of his beak, you're gonna draw a small circle that looks like his nose. And there you have it, your parrot's face. So now the last thing we need left is wings. But for the wings, we're actually going to use our hands. So we're gonna have handprint feathers of every color. For my feathers, I chose red, orange, blue, purple, and green. So I'm gonna take my red paper and just quickly trace my handprint. It does not have to be perfect. And it would be really fun if you can ask your friends around, or maybe even your mom or your dad, to trace their handprint too, so you have a bunch of different sized handprints for your feathers. But right now it's only me, so I'm just gonna trace my hand. You're gonna go ahead and cut out your first handprint. This one is the only one you will need to do very carefully. Remember to ask an adult for help cutting if you need. Just like this. Okay, so I have one handprint, but I said I needed 5. So I'm gonna take the rest of my colors and trace that handprint on my paper. Now remember, your handprints do not have to be perfect because no bird is the same, so no feathers are perfect. They're all ruffled and crazy, and that's what we want it to look like. So now that I have my handprint traced on my orange paper, I'm just gonna stack the rest of my papers up and I'm gonna cut them all together so I have all the same handprint. Remember, this is a tricky part, so if you need help, please ask an adult around and they will be able to cut out the handprints for you. Remember to hold all of the papers together so all of your handprints look the same. You don't want them to move because then you're gonna have very weird looking handprints, which is okay. But today we want them all to be similar. And if you want to do it one at a time, you can do that also. This just makes it easier to do all at once and it makes it faster. Okay, now I have all 5 of my handprints cut out. So I'm just gonna look at them quickly to make sure that they're all exactly how I want them. Some of them might have a little point at the end. That's okay, you're going through it now so you can fix that. Here we go. Now the fun part about this is you can even decorate the handprints on your feathers to have glitter or stickers or drawings or whatever you would like. I'm gonna leave my feathers as is, and we're gonna grab our parrot body again, and we're gonna start from the bottom. So I'm gonna use my red handprint first, and I think I'm gonna go in rainbow order all the way up. So I'm gonna put glue right on the palm of the hand, just like this. Just on the end because you're gonna stick it hanging off of your parrot. Kind of like this. We're gonna glue the rest of them, and then you'll see how beautiful the feathers look. Try not to glue them all in the same spot so your fingers don't overlap. And you always want the thumbprint facing the belly of the parrot. And there you have it. It's your very colorful handprint paper parrot. The second craft we're making is a paper plate Rio Carnival mask. These masks are very fun and very colorful and really easy to make. So we're gonna start off with our paper plate and we're gonna turn it over, and we're just gonna take a pencil and draw a line to show where we're cutting it. So most of our paper plate is gonna be the mask, but we wanna cut the bottom off. So we're just gonna draw a V going in from the bottom. Kind of like a mountaintop. Now we're gonna take our scissors. Remember to have an adult to help you with this part if you need. And we're just gonna cut off that bottom V that we just drew. Now that we have our mask, we need to cut the eyes out. So we're gonna use our scissors, and remember to have an adult help you with this part because it's kind of difficult. And we're just gonna poke a hole in both sides of the plate where the eyes should be. After we poke a hole, we're gonna cut in our eye holes. So just big enough for you to look through, and they can be really big, really small. We're just gonna cut in a circle, and it usually comes out in the shape of your eyeball. So let's make sure I can see through it. Yep, good to go. So, Rio Carnival masks are very colorful and very fun, so I'm gonna start off by painting my mask. I'm gonna use 3 colors today, red, orange, and yellow, just to make it even more bright and more fun, just like I was going to a Rio Carnival. So I'm just gonna paint all over. Now that I have my yellow on, I'm gonna move on to my orange. I'm gonna add a little less orange because I want most of my mask to be yellow. I'm gonna add a tiny bit of red. Kind of looks like a lion, doesn't it? Let's figure out what we're decorating with while we wait for it to dry. So I think for the face of my mask, I'm gonna use a bunch of different cool gems and stuff like that. Maybe I'll even draw on a few designs. The Rio Carnival mask is great because you can do whatever you want to it, as long as it's fun and it's colorful. That is the goal. So I'm gonna use some gold gems to go with my red, orange, yellow color scheme. And on the top, around the outer rim, I'm gonna use feathers. So you don't have to use feathers, you can use whatever you have on hand. You could use strings, you can draw, you can use glitter, totally up to you. This is your art project. So I'm going to start by putting on my gems. This is very simple. I'm just gonna take some glue and put them wherever I want. So I think I'm gonna do 2 squares right by the eyeballs. A little fun fact about the Rio Carnival is that 2 million people go every single year. And 500,000 of those people are not even from Brazil, so they travel there just for the big carnival. Okay, so I'm gonna add my last few gems and then I'm gonna move on to the feathers. As you can see, I took a random pile of feathers and this part's very fun. So what I'm going to do, because I don't have enough time to wait for the glue to dry, is I'm gonna use tape instead. So I'm gonna take a long piece of tape and turn it over so the sticky side is facing up. Once that's down, I know you can't see it, but I'm just gonna stick feathers randomly onto this side of the tape, and remember to leave some so it sticks to the plate. Leave some room. We're just gonna stick some random feathers all throughout the tape. And you could keep a finger on it if that makes it easier for you. Remember to ask an adult for help for this part because it can be kind of tricky. You can also just glue the feathers straight onto the outer rim of your mask. And just remember to make it fun and colorful. Now that I have most of my feathers on, I'm gonna take my piece of tape and turn it over so I can stick it to the top of my mask. And a few might fall off while you're doing this, but that's okay, you're just gonna stick them right back on. So you're just gonna go around the outer rim of your mask and tape that on. So now you have a feather decorated Rio Carnival mask, which is super fun looking. But we're not done yet. So once this is all dry, we're gonna flip it over and add our popsicle stick. Now you can glue this on or just tape it on how I am going to do. That way you can hold your mask up to your face and you can pretend you're in the carnival. Or you can have your own carnival where you are. Okay, and this is what your final product should look like. This is a fun, colorful Rio Carnival mask. Wasn't that easy? I hope you had fun making this colorful handprint parrot and paper plate Rio Carnival mask. See you next time, bye!
Wow, we had so much fun crafting with you today. And now we're coming in for a landing at our final destination, our amazing trivia game, where you will have more fun with trivia questions about our adventure today. I'm gonna ask you 5 questions. Each question will have 4 answers, but only 1 is correct. Can you get the right answer? Let's play. Welcome to Wheels Up Trivia. Question 1. The largest waterfall system in the world is A. Niagara Falls, B. Iguazu Falls, C. Victoria Falls, or D. Gravity Falls? The answer is B. Iguazu Falls. Question 2. São Paulo residents are also called A. Paulistanos, B. São Paulers, C. Paul, or D. São Paulians? The answer is A, Paulistanos. Question 3. The official language of Brazil is A, Spanish, B, English, C, Brazilian, or D, Portuguese? The answer is D, Portuguese. Question 4. Which animals don't live in the Amazon rainforest? Is it A, sloths, B, dolphins, C, gorillas, or D, electric eels? The answer is C, gorillas. Question 5. The word lençóis means A, waterbed, B, bed sheets, C, wet sand, or D, street art? The answer is B, bed sheets. Thanks for playing trivia with me. See you next time. Bye.
Thanks for watching this episode of Wheels Up. I had so much fun with you today on our adventure, crafting, and playing our games. Did you know that there are so many more Wheels Up adventures waiting for you to enjoy? Just head to our YouTube channel or download the Sunrise Studios app, available on your mobile phone, tablet, or smart TV. We can't wait to see you at our next flight with Wheels Up. Brought to you by Sunrise Association, Sunrise Studios, and American Airlines. See you next time. Bye!